It may only be December, but this Sunday's Manchester derby already carries a season-defining importance for both United and City. Pep Guardiola's City team can establish an 11-point advantage at the top with victory at Old Trafford and come into the contest in sensational form, having not dropped any points since the second weekend of the season. Jose Mourinho's United know they realistically must win the game to keep up the pressure on their neighbours, but the way he approaches the contest will be absolutely crucial. There are so many fascinating aspects to the game, but the attacking players are most likely to ultimately decide who takes the points. Here, we take a look at the various combinations the two managers could start with up front and how they are likely to influence the outcome. Heavily criticized for setting up negatively in high-profile, high-risk matches against Liverpool and Chelsea earlier in the campaign, Jose Mourinho at least released the handbrake of the bus in last weekend's 3-1 win at Arsenal. His United team were at their freewheeling best on the counter-attack, tearing Arsenal apart with speed and smart movement for each of their goals. Yet they were also indebted to goalkeeper David De Gea for the 3 points. Mourinho played a 3-5 to shape at the Emirates, the same system he started with in the matches against Tottenham Hotspur and Chelsea in recent weeks, with mixed results. It is a formation that makes the best of wing-backs Antonio Valencia and Ashley Young, both in the best form of their careers, and adds a clinical touch by partnering Romelu Lukaku with Anthony Martial in attack. While neither scored at Arsenal, they were both influential, and the fluidity United had going forward will certainly have given Mourinho food for thought ahead of City. However, United's dynamism against Arsenal owed much to midfielder Paul Pogba and, as we know, he will be suspended for the meeting with City after treading on Hector Bellerin's leg. Having witnessed the two-striker approach pay dividends against Arsenal, Mourinho paired Lukaku with Marcus Rashford up front for the Champions League match with CSKA Moscow on Tuesday night. This time Martial dropped to the bench, as Rashford had done at the Emirates, and the pair, both in really good scoring form, have basically been on a rotation policy behind Lukaku since the start of the season. The fact both Rashford and Lukaku scored against the Russian side suggests they will be favoured if Mourinho goes with two strikers on Sunday, but both Rashford and Martial have scored 8 times and can really be split. More likely is that Mourinho will revert to the 4-2-3-1 deployed extensively at the start of the season. The advantage of this is that all 3 front men can be used, with Lukaku up top and Rashford and Martial on the flanks. This makes maximum use of the pace Rashford and Martial bring, unleashing them against a City back line that hasn't looked as resolute in the absence of the injured John Stones. All of United's strikers will fancy a good run at Nicolas Otamendi and Joaquim Mangala. That's for sure, and the 4-2-3-1 should offer the defensive cover required to counter City's abundant attacking threat. The choice of the middle man in the 3 behind Lukaku will be interesting as, in the absence of Pogba's energy, it will be key to United's balance. Juan Mata is the likely choice, given his vast experience of these big matches, but the recent form of Jesse Lingard, who scored twice at Arsenal and a superb solo goal at Watford, gives Mourinho a dilemma. But Lingard could be too similar to Rashford and Martial when United may actually need a lockpicker like Mata to break down City's defense with passing rather than pace. It seems absurd that Zlatan Ibrahimovic, a man who scored 28 goals for United last season, won't even get a look in for a starting place this Sunday, having made 3 substitute appearances last month. The Swedish striker hasn't even been in United's squad for the last 2 games, with Mourinho expressing doubt about his match fitness. But it would be surprised if Ibrahimovic isn't on the bench for the derby, and his recent omissions aren't just a load of Mourinho cloak and dagger to try to unsettle City. If so, he would be an excellent impact substitute to have if United are trailing with half an hour to play. As we know, Zlatan is made for such crucial games and will believe it is scripted for him to come on and score. City have overpowered and outscored pretty much everyone they've come up against this season. It may be a case that United will need to score 2, 3 or even 4 goals to get the better of them this Sunday. Yet they are themselves blessed with plenty of informed players in attack, and are certainly more than capable of breaking down City's defense, however Mourinho sets them up.